In 1986, in the middle of the arcade shmup golden age, Taito released a new game that expanded the horizontal shooting game genre in every sense of the word. Featuring a unique 3-monitor cabinet, that game was Darius. Pronounced Darius according to the Japanese original title, but nowadays is better known just as Darius. It put the player in control of Silverhawk ships, piloted by Tayet and Proco, who are trying to defend their planet, Darius, from the invasion of the Belsa forces. Darius featured 2-player co-op in the arcades, and, instead of putting the player on a set path, every time you beat a boss the path divides, and you have to choose the route you want to go. Every zone is labeled with a letter, starting with the A zone, which then gives the player the choice to go to zone B or C, and so on. This means that there are 7 stages total per playthrough, 1 per letter, plus alternate versions of the V and Z zones. At the end of every zone, the player receives a warning that a huge battleship is approaching and is then transported to a boss battle. Every enemy battleship is modeled after fish, which gave the Belsa forces their signature look. The home ports came a little later than usual, not only because of the home consoles not having the graphical power, but also because they had to adapt the gameplay for just one screen. The Super Darius port for the PC Engine CD is a great port, but we personally prefer the PC Engine / Super Graphics port of the game, Darius Plus. We will take a look at the arcade version. In this case, it will be the newer version which is more balanced. And for the ports we will watch are the Darius Plus version for the PC Engine and also the Sega Genesis port that came out many years later with the release of the Sega Genesis Mini, a version that was later dubbed as Darius Extra. The Silverhawk is equipped with missiles that serve as this game's normal shot, and bombs that the ship drops on top of the enemies. Both can be powered up by retrieving different colored orbs by destroying the enemies of that color. The red ones upgrade the missiles after picking up enough orbs that change to a double shot and then a triple shot. After filling up the gauge for the missiles it changes to a laser, which can pierce through enemies and gets longer for each new orb. And finally, after filling up the laser gauge, you are equipped with the Mighty Wave Shot, which grows bigger with every new red orb. Bombs are upgraded by the green orbs, becoming faster with each orb obtained. After the first meter is completed, upwards bombs are added, and their third phase is a 4-way bomb spread attack. The last meter is for the blue orbs which surrounds the Silverhawk with the armor. This barrier protects the ship from enemies' attacks. The other phases are the silver barrier and lastly the golden barrier, each one more resistant than the last. There are also silver orbs, which give points, and golden orbs which serve as this game's screen clear mega crash. The most notable difference for the ports is that they are single player only. In the Genesis version, you can play as Tayet, but this ship only serves as the game's easy mode. We will take the route that we consider is the best for each version. Bosses are different but the levels are quite similar. Each final zone has a different ending, but in this run we will only get to 2 of them. With all this cleared up, let's start the run. The game begins by introducing us to the fast enemies. Try to shoot at the point where their movements meet. When formations like this show up, there is a high chance that a power orb is at the end, so make sure to not miss the colored enemy. The shield is mandatory, since the enemies are relentless throughout all this stage and they won't relax in the next levels. Try to stay just a bit forward of the second third of the screen. If you stay too far back, the enemies will surround you, and if you stay up front, they will surprise you. Even if you receive no damage on the armor, getting another blue orb grants you extra barrier strength. These blue tanks are very dangerous. Their homing missile will always follow you. Try to kill them before they shoot it. The game now combines all the enemies we've seen so far together. A truly hellish first stage. Keep your distance for this, dropping units that explode when you get close. Luckily, this stage is filled with blue orbs, so we can survive longer. Try to kill the last green enemy to get its orb, and now it's time for the A-Zone boss. The series staple King Fossil. Quickly destroy the fast-moving orbs that guard the battleship. And as soon as you are done with them, the king begins his attack. The best strategy is to stay above or below his mouth to avoid its line of fire, and shoot its mouth before and after his attacks, and he will soon fall to his doom. We will stay in the upper path, which leads to Zone B. We start in the cavern, which looks much tighter in just one screen. As you can see, the PC Engine version has a different power-up order, but the enemies' formations are similar to the arcade. The shield is mandatory in these versions as well. They are still relentless and appear even harder thanks to the tighter space compared to the arcade cabinet. The blue tanks are even more dangerous for the same reason. Take them out by staying low. The enemy combo comes now. The units that explodes when the Silverhawk is close are harder to avoid here. Try going below when possible. After the last green orb, the stage ends for the Genesis, but, for all stage, the PC Engine liked to drag on for a bit longer, repeating the same patterns that were present throughout the stage. Time for King Fossil. The same strategy applies here. Stay out his line of fire and shoot his mouth when safe. We follow the same route, upwards towards Zone B. Zone B is a city zone. Be sure to grab the red orbs, since we are close in getting the triple shot. Try to use the wide horizontal space to calmly take the enemies out at the same time you maneuver through the tight spaces. This egg-like enemies drop down a bit every time you shoot them. Shoot your way and zoom past the ones you can shoot from afar. Try to aim your bombs to the ground turrets before they become a problem. The twin bombs can be obtained this early in the arcade version, which helps a lot. And now after getting this red orb, we finally have the triple shot for the missiles. If you get left behind too far to the left, wait for the enemies to slow down and quickly regain your position. Time for Zone B boss, the electric fan. Again, get rid of the multiplying orbs to begin the proper boss battle. The triple shot is very useful here. Aim it to the boss mouth and dodge its lasers up or down while you keep shooting. He won't last long. Again, we will take the upper route straight to Zone D. The city zone begins. Space is tighter, but it is manageable. Be sure for real now to not miss any red orb for the triple shot. The egg enemies are here too. We will use the same tactic for them. Same with the ground enemies, just drop bombs while taking care of the airborne units. There is still not enough orbs for the bombs upgrade, but an upgrade to the silver barriers can be obtained here. Time for electric fan now. Same strategy here. Dodge the laser while destroying the mouth. We go up again towards Zone D. Zone D is a mountain range. For most of the stage, we will stay on the middle of the screen vertically and moving left or right. Remember to grab all the orbs possible to keep powering up the ship and renewing the barriers, which will soon be upgraded to the Super Silver Armor. But, and this is very important, for the rest of the arcade we won't grab any more red orbs. The laser is a handicap in this game, and it is preferable to stay with the triple shot missiles than risk it all with the laser. The pattern of the enemies repeat, so keep doing the same and it will be over soon. The next enemy is the difficult dual shears. After defeating the orbs, stay in this position to shoot the enemy directly at its claws. Move quickly up and down while shooting to dodge the boss attacks. After both claws are destroyed, aim at its mouth and it will be gone. We will now go for the lower route towards Zone H. The mountain is very similar to the arcade. We will stick to the missile for now on the Genesis, but we'll go for the laser for the PC Engine version. The bombs upgrade can be obtained in this level. There is nothing else to add that hasn't been said in the arcade stage. A different boss appears in the ports, Big Rajarn. Dodge the laser and then shoot them until you destroy both parts of its body. If you dodge the wave lasers and be patient, it should be enough. We will go low now, towards Zone H. This zone is another cavern, like the first stage. Enemies will try to circle around you and taking advantage of the tight spaces. Try to position yourself behind their formations and shoot them all. The same for this part. And always use a golden orb to get rid of the dancing enemies. Try not to get pushed to the left and position yourself forward when you have the chance. This jumping green enemy should be dealt with immediately. He will appear again later and in later stages, so always keep an eye for him. Place your safe out of the way of the wave of the enemies that come from behind and kill them as soon as they pass. Go up to destroy the unit that are moving up and down from the ceiling to avoid them crowding the screen. A new golden orb frees us from the dancing enemies. A new grasshopper comes from behind. As soon as you can aim at it, destroy it. Try not to get caught like this in the enemy line. Thankfully, the barrier is protecting the Silverhawk. Soon after, the boss battle begins. Time for the tenacious fatty glutton. When the battle begins, position the ship to the far left. Aim your shot at its mouth and try to shoot at his minions and dodge once they divide their bodies. It is hard to dodge, which makes this boss battle hard and expectable to get your barrier depleted a bit. This boss is basically the reason why getting the laser at the middle of the run makes it really hard. We need the wider range of bullet to shoot at this bastard. But soon, he will fall just like the others. We now go downwards again, to Zone M. The hard cavern is next. Like in the arcade mode, try to keep out of the circle of enemies' way. Since you don't have enough room to attack them from the back, just try to dodge them if possible. The grasshopper is just as annoying here too. Try to shoot the ceiling enemies as soon as you see them, because in this smaller screen they'd be really hard if left alive. After the stage ends, we have different bosses in each port. For PC Engine, we have to fight the red crab. Try to aim the laser and the upwards bombs at its elbow. Dodge the orbs and its lasers. And once its arm is out, shoot at its eyes and you will soon die. For the Genesis, it's time for Fatty Glutton, the reason we kept the triple missile shot. It is definitely easier here, since its minion divide earlier than in the arcade, giving you more time to dodge them. Because of this, it ends up being too easy. For both versions now, we go low again towards Zone M. This stage is an asteroid belt. All stage long we are bombarded with space rock that rapidly zoom through the screen. Shoot them to keep them out of way. But keep in mind that the larger rocks divide once you shoot them and require more shot to finally disappear. Shoot and move, no time to think this too hard. Try to grab the orbs, if possible. But only if it is safe. Ground turrets soon join. Try to take them out with the bombs and keep going at it. We still have a while to go. Keep shooting and dodging until the stage suddenly ends. King Bayonet is next. A tough fight. We will try to aim at its mouth, either with the missiles and the upwards bombs. If you are aggressive, he is gone quick, but it can cost you the barrier, like in this case. This time we return to the upper route, onto Zone R. The asteroid belt is next. Same as with the arcade, shoot and dodge, don't think. But we will have to do some thinking, since we are going to grab all the red orbs in the Genesis version to upgrade to the laser. Same with the PC Engine version, we need to get the wave shot as soon as possible and forget about the horrible laser. The golden barrier can be obtained here as well. Boss is next, for the PC Engine, is Keen Bayonet time. Different strategy than the arcade. Keep your distance and destroy the fins first, which takes a lot of its firepower. Then shoot its mouth when it is safe. He will eventually fall. For Genesis, it's Tough Spring. Stay in this line to shoot the laser directly at its mouth. Avoid the minion when he deploys them. Repeat the pattern and he will be gone. We now go for the upper route as well, towards Zone R. Zone R is an undersea base. An easy level considering we are almost at the end of the game. Thankfully, we can quickly regain our shield. After that, keep shooting to destroy everything as soon as they appear. Since we have attacks that go in almost every direction, we can safely take them all out. This line of fish can take a good number of shots each, but they aren't a match for the Silverhawk. The blue tanks are back. Be very careful of their missiles. We now have the final level of the armor, the Golden Shield. Be sure to grab the golden orb to erase all the enemies that have crowded the screen. Keep shooting and keeping distance with the enemies. Go up to have room to dodge the tank's missiles as you destroy them. Look at how quickly the tank's missiles can destroy our barrier. Thankfully, we can recover, but the game can be brutal when it wants. The Iron Hammer is next. Keep as much distance as you can. Aim at its eyes, but also destroy the smaller minions he sends your way. The fight can drag on for a while like this, but he will eventually fall. We go to the lower route now, towards the final Zone X. Our priority here in the PC Engine is to get the wave shot before the stage ends. There is no way we can defeat the boss with the laser, so keep focus and destroy every red enemy you see. For the Genesis, we should prioritize the red orbs as well, just to be able to obtain the wave before the last boss. remember to bomb the tanks before getting chased by its missiles. Once the wave shot is ours, the game is over. Nothing beats this wave. Sadly, it is privy only to those who stand the weak laser. Same boss for both versions now, Firestar. Just stay in the middle and shoot its core. Your bombs will take care of the other projectiles. He doesn't stand a chance. Now we divide for the ending. We stay up for PC Engine, and down we go for the Sega Genesis. This final zone is an iced mountain range. We start by shooting these enemies that come from the back to get more barrier. We are really gonna need it. The enemies instantly warp in this stage. Move and shoot as much as you can and try not to get pushed too much to the left. The grasshopper return, take him and all the ground enemies out quickly. Another one comes behind this dancing enemies, soon followed by another similar formation. More grasshoppers appear from both directions. Nothing we can't manage if we keep calm. Try getting this last blue orb if possible. After the last grasshopper, get ready for the last boss, the octopus. Keep your distance and shoot at its tentacles while you go in between his projectiles. After all the tentacles are gone, shoot its mouth and we are done here. Time to enjoy the ending for this path of the game. The stage is very similar to the arcade. Be quick to get the blue orb for the barrier, and grab the red orbs quickly because the laser is no match for the enemies here. The warping enemies are harder with the laser and the smaller screen. Now that the wave shot is ours, it's time to clean house. The grasshopper are doomed against your new weapon. The enemy's attacks are relentless in this version, but if you push through you can make it. The octopus is next. We don't have much barrier left, but the pattern is the same as the arcade. If we lose a life, we will return with the wave shot in our power, so just destroy the octopus as you can and enjoy the ending. An ice cavern. Don't stop shooting, we have to take advantage of our newly acquired wave shot. There are many green orbs here, so be sure to grab them to finally get the final upgrade in this version. Ground and ceiling turrets can get annoying, but your bombs should take care of them. Be sure to destroy the grasshoppers as they appear. The pattern repeats a couple of times, as the PC Engine version has been doing thus far. Once we get the final green orb, we are all powered up to face the final boss. The boss this time is the green Coronatus. Go up to shoot its face and dodge his projectiles going down shooting its tail. Don't stop moving, trust your barrier and he will soon fall. Just barely, but the game is over. Time to enjoy a different ending. Thanks for watching until the end. For more information about the whole Darius franchise, we recommend Bofner's channel. No one knows more about this franchise than him. Next time, we take a look at the pioneer or strategic shooting game.